guys, I'm Spradling here and welcome to the Halloween special. Now, this video is going to be basically from the easiest to the hardest masks that I made. These are 7 masks that I made from easiest to the hardest. Let's get to it. Before I tell you how I made this mask, let me show you a bit of history of this mask. An early original version of the mask made by Fun World that the screen prints factors popularized. That's all I know about that mask. Now let's get on to how I made this mask. So I got 2 masks that I was going to use. One of them I got from the thrift store, and the other one I got from Walmart. So as the Ghostface mask, it was sewed, like the shroud sewed on the mask. So I used a sew remover tool thing and just remove the stitches and just able to get it off pretty easily. So as the thrift store one, I used a X-Acto knife and just remove it off because it was glued on. So it was not as hard as if I got removed. I removed the strap and I used either tacky glue or hot glue and started gluing onto the mask. And here's me hot gluing the strap back into the mask. After I hot glued the shroud to the mask, I was finished, and check this out. I forgot to say that at the bottom of the mask, the shroud didn't fully cover it, so I had to glue like part of the bottom of the mask to close, so it would cover the mask a little more. Does it not expose my ear, neck, or chin? And here's also me wearing it. And let me know what you guys like it. Now this is the mask that I did unbox way back in the day. But in this case, I'm finally gonna able to turn this mask into the mask how I want it to be. I start by sanding the mask. After I'm done sanding, I remove the eye shields, the strap, and I did use my Dremel to... Well, I did not use my Dremel. I just simply removed the part of the teeth off. Then I take some air dry clay and just cover up the areas that remove the teeth, and I sculpt some new teeth on it. Then I use some primer black spray paint all over the mask. Then I use some magenta acrylic paint and just paint on the mask with some paint with a geometric shape pattern or like cracks like. Then I use some white acrylic paint to paint the teeth and use some little bit of Mod Podge to seal the teeth and spray the mask with some clear spray paint. Once it's dry, I put the eye shields back on and I made a new strap by hot gluing the straps together, and I tape the middle of it. Well, I first hot glue it together and then I cover it with duct tape. After all that, it was done. I mean, check it out. You all might recognize this mask because this is a mask I did about a year ago that it was supposed to look like the Jason vs. Freddy mask from that movie, but now looking back at this, it did not quite look like the one for the movie, so I'm basically just going to rehaul it and just make it more like the one for the movie. I start by sanding the mask and basically giving it a bath, like dip it into a bowl full of water so it can just clean off all the residue on, like the debris on it, just the water clean off. Once I'm done washing it, I use some caramel paint and just paint on the mask, like masking tape, to make the chevrons. Then I use some red acrylic paint to paint the chevrons, and I made some new chevrons. Then I mix with black acrylic paint with some water and just basically paint on the mask, and then I use a rag to just either damp it or just rub it on the mask to get that dirty look. Once I'm done, I use the Mod Podge spray just to seal it. Then I use the same strap that I use and just put it back on the mask, and then I was done. And I can see it looks a lot more like the one for the movie. Before I tell you how I made this mask, let me tell you a bit of history about the mask and why I'm using this type of mask. So Basically, this mask is based on a real Star Trek mask of William Shatner, aka Captain Kirk, where they basically remove the sideburns, cut the eye holes wide, bigger, spray paint them as white and brown or black, and what you have is a face of doom. And the reason I'm using a plastic mask is because, well, originally I'm just going to use a latex mask, but it would be way too hard to do it, especially how it's a latex mask, and it might be a little more difficult. However, I saw my brother wear this type of mask from a Halloween party last year, so I dig it out and I'm decided to use this as to the Captain Kirk mask. Plus, I even got the sideburns, so it would be perfect to use it. So what I did was I removed the strap off, and then I'm using some model paste and just basically cover it all over the mask, because there were some a little bit like bumps and scratches on it, so I was basically covering it up just to make it more smoother. Once it's dry, I sand it down, then I primer it, and after it was dry, I use some rustic pink spray paint. That would be like the skin tone of the mask. Once it's dry, I use some yellow crisp paint and just paint the sideburns and the hair, and I mix it a little bit with some Mod Podge. Once that's done, I spray it with some clear spray paint, and it was done. I mean, check it out. So I'm basically doing both of them because I was working on these two at the same time on the same day. Now, I did not show these in videos. I just basically did them basically off camera, but the reason I'm doing this is because I'm just showing you how I improved them to what they used to before and after what they look like now. For the Ghostface mask, I first removed the shroud, then I sanded and used my Dremel to make the eyes bigger, along with the mouth. Then I dip it into a bowl of water, clean all the debris. Once it's dry, I spray paint with primer, then spray paint with some white. Then I mix with water with black clear paint, give it a watery look, and just apply on the mask, and then wipe it down for make it look dirty. Then I'm basically making the cracks of the mask. If you're not noticing, I'm making it based on the Scream 6 mask. I started off with a pencil, then I used some paint. Then I put some stockings on the eyes and the mouth, and it was basically done. And I even put the shroud back on. Well, the shroud I use is from the Ghostface mask that I made a while. Now I'm doing for the Michael Myers one. Now, originally I was gonna do the Halloween Kills one when he has the burns or stuff, but yeah, it didn't work out. So I'm making it based on the Halloween 2018 version. So you basically know the drill. Sand it, wash it, primer, then white. And use the acrylic paint, mix it with water, apply on the mask, then wipe it down. Then I use some brown acrylic paint for the hair, use a Sharpie for the detail of the hair. And I did use a tiny bit of paint and pencil for like the outline and other details. Once I did that, I applied the strap back on and I put some stockings on the eyes, and it was done. I removed the stickers, and I removed the back part where the eyes are, and then used my Dremel to open like a way for me to fit my head. Then remove the ears and cover them with masking tape, and just use some dark brown spray paint to have his ears look like the one from the game, alongside with some clear spray paint to seal it in. Now for the head and jaw to stay together, I use hot glue first, and then cover it with some duct tape to support it. Same method how I did for attaching the sponges on the bottom and the top of the head, so that way it gets comfort. Then to put some tape behind the eyes, so that way, because you see I'm using my Dremel to Dremel the eyes out so I get able to see through them. So that way you get like, so none of the debris hits on the trunks or anything. Then as for the eyes, I use these eye shields and basically cut them to be small to fit in the eyes, and use a Sharpie to make the pupils and also trim it out to be like eyesight. Then I use like a tiny container and tape it down the button so the eyes will close, so that way I'm able to glue the eyes on the head. Now as for the strap, I basically use my Dremel on like across the mask, up and down the mask. So I'm doing it as like a hockey mask style, where that way it can like support my head better. Once I did it, it's all done.
Looks like someone wasn't ready for Freddy to come to the party.
And that, my friend, is the Halloween special. I hope you guys like this. Well guys, that'll be the end of the video. If you like it, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications, and comment which mask do you like. This is Owen Spradling here, and happy Halloween to all my viewers.